Hello students, I once again welcome you all to Onboard Digital Classes. As we are in this important journey of completing important events of 2024, today in this video we shall be discussing about important events that took place in the month of April. All those important events that took place in the month of January, February and March has already been uploaded. Therefore, all those students, if you have not watched the video, I would request you to kindly watch that video as well. To begin today's lecture, we shall be discussing about world's largest renewable energy park, which is built in Kevra, Gujarat. Okay, and who is building this? It has been built by our favorite Adani, and he has become not only our favorite but also the favorite of the United States of America. We have seen the amount of love that the United States has shown against Adani. They have actually alleged Adani of giving bribes to some states. Right, we shall be discussing about that also in later slides. Okay, let's move ahead and look this slide. As we've known, Adani is building world's largest renewable energy, and this is world's largest, not Asia's largest, not India's largest, but world's largest. And that too, he is building renewable energy. And why is renewable energy important? We know the amount of havoc the climate change has brought in everybody's life today, right? Right from melting of glaciers, from severe droughts and floods. We have seen the impact it has created in landslides and also cloudbursts. This is all the results of climate change. And that is the reason why it's important for us to transition ourselves from fossil fuels to renewable energy. And who is helping Bharat in doing so? It is the Adani Group. And that is the reason why all the countries across the globe today are continuously attacking Bharat, especially Adani. Okay, we shall be discussing that as well. Now, let's move ahead and know more about this project. First and foremost, this investment is expected to lead to the creation of 4 lakh direct and indirect jobs. You see how significant will that be for the country like Bharat, where we are actually facing the problem of unemployment, right? Creation of 4 lakh jobs is significant. And also, this renewable energy is expected to displace 900 million tons of carbon dioxide. We know the importance of carbon dioxide in global warming, how it actually helps in trapping the heat in the atmosphere. Okay, so it's important for us to reduce carbon dioxide. And also, this project is expected to generate 130 megawatt of clean energy. That is also very, very significant. Now, let's move ahead and know more about the allegation. What is the allegation about? You can see here, this is the headline of a newspaper in United States. What they are saying, United States case filed against Adani target a close ally of Indian Prime Minister. They are using a phrase like close ally. Instead of using the word or his name Adani, they are using this phrase called close ally, indirectly targeting Indian Prime Minister. Right? We can see the motive, what they are trying to do. Anyway, what is the allegation? American courts accuse Adani of bribing some Indian states government of 250 million. What is the amount? 250 million during 2021-22. So we can say that this is not the case of current year. This is the case of 2021 and 22. I mean, they are bringing this case right now. There must be some reason, right? We shall discuss about that later. Now USA has this habit of poking their nose in somebody else's business. Why? Because they are not even concerned about Pentagon, which has failed to produce its 6 years audit. I mean, they have not even done audit for the last 6 years. US Pentagon. They are not saying anything to them, but instead they are poking their nose in Adani's business. Alright, so let's for the fact assume that whatever US courts are saying is correct. Okay, there are so many people in Bharat, right, who actually believes that because United States of American courts have said it must be correct. And for the fact they are not even concerned that these are only allegations. It is not proven. So let's for a second believe that Adani has actually given a bribe to these people. Okay. Now there is a phrase in Hindi. Tera kutta Tommy, mera kutta kutta. If you do, it's okay. But if I do, then it's not okay. Why do I say this? Because in America there is a concept called lobbying. Now, what is a lobbying? Lobbying means, for instance, if I want to sell my product in your state, okay, what do? I go to your state and meet some vendors, right, and give them some money so that they create a favorable environment for my product. So that is called lobbying of a product. But then the definition changes when it comes to other person. If some other person is doing, then that is called bribery. Because as per this report, Adani has done similar thing. If Adani would have done that in America, that would have been termed as lobbying. But Adani has done that in India, it is called bribery. So we can see the hypocrisy of these people. And we must know that Adani is a billionaire. He's not even a millionaire, he's a billionaire. He's not a saint. Right? We are not in a utopian society. I'm not encouraging you. I'm not encouraging that you should go and give bribe to people. No. But there are some malicious things that everybody does in this world, right? We cannot be in a utopian society when we say that we are so saint that we are not going to do business. How business works, when you give money, right, in order to sell products, you expect some returns, right? So that is how everybody works. So they are actually lecturing us that why are you doing this, why are you giving bribe? So we must actually call out these things. Okay. And also moving ahead, if you are in social media, then people actually have various linkages, right? Everybody, some supports BJP ideology, some supports Congress's ideology. Those people who were supporting the government, they were saying that all these states that the United States government is talking about are non-BJP ruled government states. As you can see here, Chhattisgarh, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha, all were non-BJP ruled states in the year 2021 and 22. But today, Odisha is being ruled by BJP. Okay. And there may be another reason, right? We cannot really rule out this reason. What happened recently was in Bangladesh, there was a power cut. Why? Because they were not paying their electric bills due to Adani. Now what did Adani do? He cut the electricity supply to Bangladesh. Now Bangladesh is saying to people who have actually put him in this throne today, right? Because we all know whose role was behind him becoming the Prime Minister of Bangladesh. What is he saying? Babu Mashai Adani has stopped providing electricity to Bangladesh. Now, since Babu Mashai has put his puppet government in Bangladesh, Babu Mashai has to do something, right? That is the reason why Adani is facing those charges. Because Babu Mashai is not very happy. Alright. And in the country like Bharat, everything is political. And if the person is Adani, is a favorite political topic for all the political parties. And these political parties today are demanding joint parliamentary probe as far as this matter is concerned. Joint Parliamentary Committee probe, JCB probe, in the bribery case charges against Gautam Adani and others. But unfortunately for all these players, these shenanigans felt flat. Because Adani says again rose back to its normal position. In fact, it's gaining right now and moving towards the positive trajectory. In fact, last time when Hindenburg did similar kind of tactics, we have seen how Adani shares rose. And many people have benefited from that. Right? Moving ahead, now we shall know about the International Year of Millets. Now what happened in Rome recently? In Rome, Italy, the FAO, that is Food and Agriculture Organization. Food and Agriculture Organization is also the specialized agency of the United Nations. So they wrapped up the International Year of Millets 2023, acknowledging millets' resilience and potential for sustainable agriculture. We normally hear about sustainable development, right? Now we are also talking about sustainable agriculture. And millets is very significant when it comes to sustainable agriculture. Okay, now let's talk about Food and Agriculture Organization. As we have discussed that it is a specialized agency of the United Nations. And what it focuses on? It focuses on the global food and agricultural issues. Okay, it was established in the year 1945 and its headquarters is in Rome, Italy. I think this much information about FAO is important. Alright, now let's move ahead and know about millets. What is a millet? And Bharat also has been promoting millet. If we can recall our G20 conferences, right? We've seen many leaders who have come and they've eaten millets. There are many items which were made up of millets. In fact, some desserts were also made up of millets. Okay. So in fact, Bharat has also been promoting millet. Okay. Now, Millets are a group of small seeded grasses that are used as cereal grains for human consumption as well as animal feed. It is not only used for human consumption, but it's also used as a animal feed also. All right. There are some Hindi names of millets. Let us try to know them. Pearl millet, it's also known as bajra. Bajra is also millet. Okay. Finger millet is also known as ragi, or foxtail millet, kangni, right? And barnyard millet, samva, and also little millet, kutki. All right. So these millets are sustainable agricultural products. Why? Because they don't need very large amount of water to grow. They can be grown in a small amount of water also, right? So again, we know the importance of groundwater, isn't it? How groundwater plays a significant role, especially if you are producing only rice. Rice needs significant amount of water, but if you are producing this type of crops, it needs less water, right? That therefore it becomes sustainable, and also it has good benefit for health also. It is nutritious also, isn't it? So that's the reason why we must promote this millet. Moving ahead to Kachatevu Island, very significant and very important. Yes, this again recently came in news in the month of April. What happened was, amidst its transfer from India to Sri Lanka in 1974, basically this Kachatevu Island was transferred by India to Sri Lanka in the year 1974. Okay, Kachatevu became a battleground during Sri Lanka Civil War, fueling conflicts between Indian Tamil fishermen and the Sri Lankan Navy. So even today, between the fishermen of India and Sri Lanka, there are conflicts in this island. Okay. Now let's understand brief history about Kachatevu. Kachatevu's history traces back to its inclusion in the Ramand Zamindari, establishing its Indian ownership under the Nayak dynasty of Madurai. Madurai today is in Chennai, right? And this Kachatevu Island fall under Ramand Zamindari system. Zamindari system, we know who bought that, who introduced Britishers. Okay, Britishers have introduced Zamindari system, so it fall under Ramand Zamindari. The kingdom of Ramand, as you can see here, Ramand state was permanently settled kingdom and later Zamindari state that existed in the Ramand subdivision of the Madurai district and later Ramand district of the erstwhile Madras presidency in the British India from 1601. So what this proves is that, it was a part of Bharat, because British has also occupied that, and also it was a part of Ramand dynasty, which is presently in Tamil Nadu. All right. Now, present day apprehension includes concerns among Sinhalese fishermen regarding potential leasing of Kachatevu to land by Sri Lankan administration. Why this was in news? Because Sinhalese fishermen was basically, what they were doing was they were alleging the Sri Lankan government that they were handling this port or this island to Bharat or to India, right? So that is the reason why this controversy was there. And this Kachatevu Island is extremely significant for Bharat as well. Significant in the sense that we cannot afford to lose this island against China, because China is also targeting, isn't it? So that is the reason why this island becomes very, very important. Moving ahead to the next slide, what happened was India's first gene therapy for cancer treatment was launched. Okay, and who launched that? President of Bharat. Okay, the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmuji, recently launched India's first homegrown gene therapy for cancer, IIT Bombay, on April 4, 2024. Okay, it is very significant. Why? Because it is affordable and accessible treatment. We know if you are treating a disease like cancer, it can be very costly, right? But with this technology, we can say that it is affordable and accessible treatment. All right, the newly launched therapy is the world's most affordable CAR T-cell therapy. What is the name of the therapy? CAR T-cell. President Murmu highlighted that India's first CAR T-cell therapy is not only an example of Make in India, again, this is an example of Make in India initiative, but also signing example of Atmanirbhar Bharat or Self-Reliant India campaign. Right. Now let us understand what is CAR T-cell therapy. All right. First and foremost, we know that we have an built-in immune system, isn't it? The immune system defends the body against diseases. This is something which we know, right? Now, the T cells are one of its key soldiers targeting affected or abnormal cells. there is a T cell in our body that helps to fight these kind of diseases. Now what happens if there is a cancer? If there is a cancer, then this cancer blocks these defenses. Okay. Now with the help of CAR T cell therapy, what is done is that patient's blood is filtered through a machine. Okay. There's a machine, the blood of the patient is taken out and it's filtered. And that separate T cells and other WBCS. WBCS means white blood cells from the rest. So that is what it's done. Alright, and then what scientists do is that scientists then mixes and collected T cells with the virus. Virus is a disabled virus because you cannot put an active virus, right? Because if you are putting an active virus, if you put an active virus, then what happens? You will be affected. More you will be affected. That is the reason why the virus are always disabled. Alright. And ultimately what happens is that the injected virus which is disabled, what it does is that it carries the genetic instruction for the T cells, okay, to grow. Alright. And chimeric antigen receptor, which is an artificial receptor, what it does is that it tracks its cancer and targets it. So that is what CAR T cell therapy is all about. Currently CAR T cell therapy is very, very helpful for blood cancers. Not for all cancers, but it may in future be developed for all cancers as well, but currently it is very helpful for blood cancers. Right, that is the reason why all the bloods are extracted. And with the help of this CAR T cell therapy, one can be even cured by blood cancer if the person has a blood cancer. Next is India ranks second in the hepatitis B and C cases worldwide, which is not a very good news for Bharat. Right. The World Health Organization WHO 2024 Global Hepatitis report reveals that India is second only to China in the number of hepatitis B and C infections with 3.5 crore cases. Now, what is hepatitis? Hepatitis is basically inflammation of liver. As you can see here, inflammation of liver poses significant health risk and can be fatal. It can be fatal as well. You can even, fatal means that means one can even die. Right. The report highlights that 254 million people are affected by hepatitis B and 50 million by hepatitis C globally. That is for globally. Now, hepatitis is nothing but it is an inflammation in your liver. It can be a sign of distress as well. Next is India-Uzbekistan joint military exercise Daslik 2024. This comes in defense news. Right? Only thing to remember here is Daslik. Recently, Daslik was in news. It is related to which two countries? It is between India and Uzbekistan. That is the only thing that you are supposed to remember from this slide, as you can see here in this image. Right? Next is clouded tiger cat, a new species discovered in Brazil's rainforest. Again, a species in news which is discovered in Brazil's rainforest. What is its name? Clouded tiger cat, as you can see here in this image also. Alright. A new tiger species has been recently discovered in the dense rainforest in Brazil named clouded tiger cat, or there is a scientific name also you can go through. Alright. Next is moving ahead is Tata Advanced System Limited, TASL, launches India's first privately built sub-meter resolution surveillance satellite. Again, very important because it is first privately built sub-meter resolution surveillance satellite. The only thing that you're supposed to remember is TASL, it is a privately owned satellite. Alright. Next is Sompen tribe cast, very, very significant and very important. Sompen tribe cast historic votes in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, tribes in news, and these tribes are from Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Why are they important? Because they are, again, India's PBTGs. They fall under PBTGs, particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Okay, they exercise their democratic rights for the first time by casting votes in Andaman and Nicobar Island in the Lok Sabha constituency. So that is the reason why it becomes extremely important, these tribes, as you can see here in this image. Sompen tribe casts historic votes in Andaman and Nicobar elections. Alright, what does it represent? It represents the integration of one of the India's most vulnerable tribal groups into the democratic fabric of the nation. Okay, this development highlights the ongoing efforts to empower and include marginalized communities in the decision-making process that shapes their future. So even with this exercise, what happens is that even the marginalized communities are actually making their contribution by exercising their vote. exercising their universal adult franchise, right? And that means what? They are coming into the mainstream society. That is the reason why this becomes extremely significant. And we must know that Sompen tribes caste belongs from Andaman and Nicobar Islands. All right, moving ahead. Hurun Global Unicorn Index 2024, unveiling the state of global startups ecosystem. So what happened was that Bharat started significantly well when it comes to unicorn, because especially during COVID time, we had many new unicorns in India, right? In fact, in one point of time, our unicorns have even crossed hundreds. But now there is a significant decline. That is the reason why this news. Okay, in 2024, global unicorn landscape witnessed significant developments and challenges as outlined in the Hurun Global Unicorn Index. Okay, while the United States maintained the lead with 703 unicorns and China followed with 340, India ranked third with 67 unicorns. India is third, but at the same time, however, India experienced notable decline in unicorn creation for the first time since 2017. As you can see here, first is United States, second is China, and third is India, only 67. Okay, we need to do more. Now, what is a unicorn? Unicorn are those privately owned companies whose valuation is more than 1 billion. All right, so that is a unicorn. So I think Bharat needs to produce more and more unicorns, because I think it's a developing nation and we need to be developed by the year 2047. So in order to become a developed nation, we need more unicorns, right? As you can see here, no difference. 703 United Nations. I mean, India is only 67. We are not even compared to China, 340. Moving ahead in the next slide, I believe this is the last slide. And before completing today's session, like always, we'll be doing one question from prelims paper. Okay, so this question had come in this year 2024 prelims question paper. We'll try to solve this. So there are two considers. Consider the following statement. There are two statements which is given. Statement number 1 says that atmospheric is heated more by incoming solar radiation than a terrestrial radiation. There are two terms which is given. One is incoming solar radiation and second term is terrestrial radiation. Incoming solar radiation means what? Suppose this is a sun and this is Earth, right? So incoming solar radiation means radiation coming from sun towards Earth. Then a terrestrial radiation. Terrestrial radiation means what? Radiation from Earth, that is terrestrial radiation. What is it saying is that, what this statement is saying is that the atmosphere is heated more by incoming solar radiation than a terrestrial radiation. This is not correct, right? Because atmospheric is not heated more by an incoming. The rays that is coming from sun, atmosphere is not heated more by the rays coming from the sun. In fact, atmospheric is heated more by the terrestrial radiation, the radiation which is going out from Earth towards the sky. All right, because of the presence of atmosphere and carbon dioxide, right? So this statement is incorrect. Okay, let's see statement number 2. Carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are good absorbers of long wave radiation. Now, what is long wave radiation? This radiation that is coming from sun is called short wave radiation. Short wave radiation. And this radiation which is coming out of the terrestrial radiation, this is called a long wave radiation. So, what is it saying is that carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are good absorbers of long wave radiation. Like we have discussed, because of this long wave radiation and because of the absorption, the Earth is heated, isn't it? So this statement is correct. So we can say that statement number 2 is right. So based on this, we can say that option is given. Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. So we cannot say that statement 1 is incorrect, right? So this is not the answer. Now next is both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Again, this is also not the answer. Statement 1 is correct. Again, this is also not the answer. Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is incorrect. I believe this is the answer. Right. So now we have come to the end of the class. So if you have watched the class till here, I would request all the students to kindly subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also comment down on the comment box. And also feel free to provide valuable suggestion on how I can improve the content. All right. So see you in the next class. Thank you very much.